Hello there. Welcome back to SKP Productions. My name is Kwame Groves Kokon. For those of you who've been following me for a long time, you'll know that I've taken a break for the last 2 years. And the only reason I'm doing this video here, this Christmas special, is because of one very keen supporter, and their name is Sir HC07, right? Okay, you could have had a catchier name, but still. And what this person said was basically that they love my channel so much, they love my videos so much that I should do a one-time video perhaps, and basically have that as the alternative history, which is what if SKP had continued to make more videos, right? So that's essentially what we're going to look into in this video. Now, I don't have any more of my editing material. I kind of stopped paying for that and I've got rid of it, etc, etc. So this video here, as you can tell, is more just very basic. Another thing as well is I got rid of the green screen that we had. So that used to be on my wall here, but now I've kind of set up a library looking thing here, so I don't need the old background for the library. I think it was like York Library or some library I've never even been to before. So yeah, so anyway, so a few updates with me. What's been the main thing? Mainly, been married, right? So yeah, so earlier this year got married, and so it's been nice in the preparation for that, and also with marriage itself and all the accompanying things with it. And it's been nice kind of settling into married life without also having to work like a 9 to 5, and also on top of that running a YouTube channel, right? So if I was still doing SKP videos, the first thing is I would have less time for my wife, less time for my friends, less time for my family, because it was eating into a lot of my time. And actually, especially at that time as well, I was a youth worker. I was managing many different youth clubs as well, and now I've kind of changed roles within the charity sector to be something a bit less front facing, but still, it's although on paper I would have more time to do that, I'd actually much rather focus on some of the other things that I'm doing, such as writing, right? In a few years' time, you guys will see me being an author, publishing many of the books that I'm working on. But yeah, so watch this space, not necessarily going anywhere, just being a bit undercover. Other things as well, basically there's the lack of general interest in alternative history, and speaking to friends about this and other people, the main thing with the channel is obviously it was very niche, right? Some people like history, not everyone likes history, and of those who like history, some people are put off by alternative history, right? So if you look at most YouTubers who are doing alternative history, apart from a handful of them who kind of cracked the code and got the exact kind of things, etc, etc, the vast majority of them, they never, it's kind of the high point of it was a few years ago. And even channels like What Evolved this year, right, which was a channel which I've always really highly regarded, and actually that, he's the channel that kind of got me into being a YouTuber in the first place, right, especially doing alternative history. Even he has now shifted more to talking about current events, societal things, civilizations, etc, etc. And so if I was still doing these sort of videos, I would more focus on those sort of topics. So yeah, so there's not much alternative history stuff to kind of talk about that I could think of. I still had other scenarios in, that I was planning to make, but it's just once you've got through all the big ones, it kind of, the only thing I would have really done is maybe reshot some of the earlier videos, right? Because I've learned more things in subsequent years, and I would have created them in a different way, more streamlined perhaps, and other things like that. So, and also as well, I think if I was to do YouTube still, I probably would just film it like this and just quickly make videos where I'm just not wasting time filming, sorry, not wasting time editing, because that used to take up 10 hours of my week at least. So those are the kind of main things. And yeah, actually already covered that. Yeah, to be honest, the only video which I would have done in the last 2 years, and is still a potential depending on how much this gets circulated and how much support there is and stuff, right? The only video I would have done is combining the interest in the channel for Irish history and also the history of Israel and Palestine, right? And the only thing I would have made a video on is why do the Irish support Palestine, right? Or rather, something along those lines, yeah, in terms of coming up with like a title for it. Because on paper, that is quite an interesting historical phenomenon, and it's very notable like how strong the level of support is for the Irish when it comes to Palestine, right? And it's kind of counterintuitive, I would argue. So if people wanted me to do a video on that, if this video gets, I don't know, like 1,000 views and 100 likes, I know that's like, it's very unlikely it's gonna reach that. But if it does, right, I'll make that video as a one-time thing. And but in the meantime, today's my birthday. I'm 32, and just prepping for the festive season and stuff. And yeah, I just want to make this quick video. Shout out once again to Sir HC07, and stay blessed and God bless. And in the meantime, have a great day and bye.